Well, this is us, Demigod Media. Welcome. Tell us what you think.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Demigod Media. And on this episode, we'll just briefly look at something, maybe controversial, I don't know. But do you think stopping is actual marriage, or bumping, or intercourse, whichever word you prefer? Personally, I think stopping is marriage, right? If you look at something like the Marriage Act, something like that. I've forgotten the term now of the Nigerian marital activities, something something. So it states that a marriage is voidable if it is unconsummated. And what is consummation here? Intercourse, right? The act is what makes a marriage whole before everyone, right? So if you look at the actual act itself, I mean, it's like that is it. What else? There's the act, and let's look at the marriage. We understand that marriage is a social construct to create orderliness for us, right? We're not the only ones who create orderliness for ourselves. If you look at the ants also create orderliness for themselves, right? They have a system of order, or yeah, well, yes, a system of order. In the same vein, humanity also has a system of order, right? And in that system, amongst many things, you have the marriage, especially monogamous marriage. Yeah. So it reduces the possibility of chaos, and it reduces the intensity of chaos, or the intensity of probable chaos. Yeah. And it creates a bit of predictability, control, right? It's like it helps us understand each other better and not make a mess of ourselves. But if you look into it, it's more like a legal contract for um would I say social companionship, or social fulfillment. Social fulfillment, one, maybe companionship, maybe or maybe not. I don't think that's particularly compulsory in the absolute view of the system of marriage that was created. Yeah. I don't think that's particularly necessary, that companionship. So it's like a plus. If you find a companion in your partner, now it's a plus. So there's that. And then there is reproduction, of course, to sustain humanity and keep the human population alive, and you know working the earth, and maybe working the larger universe of the soul. But then there are marriages that also include that are done for political standing, yeah, for social structures, not just how do I call this now, mm, wealth class structure per se, yeah, keeping the wealth or enlarging the wealth. Let's just say political structure per se. There are lots of marriages that were designed for that. Marriage, particularly, is designed for that. Anything that has to do with societal, what's the word now? Acceptance, or societal want, societal desire. of a particular group of people, that's marriage, right? Once it involves uniting two families, marriage in the created version. But if you look at the key of marriage, that is the union of two bodies per se, I think it's basically in the stopping or the bumping or the intercourse, right? That's where you have the marriage, the union. I don't know if this is a good time to go a bit, but if you are looking at the possibility of soul intercourse, or if you've ever considered soul fragmentation, one of the ways to do it, or soul joining, soul binding, one of the ways to do it is basically intercourse. And that is a marriage of the sort, but on another level, right? You can marry beyond the body. I don't know if this is a good time to introduce this to the channel, but I think you can marry beyond the body. Yeah, you can be solically joined, solically united, solically one. I don't know if I can say spiritually one, but that's not necessarily, you don't necessarily need intercourse for that, but it can also be done by intercourse. Yeah. So basically, I think the core, the exact core of marriage is intercourse. So you might not necessarily need the ceremonies around it for it to be called marriage. Yeah. So I think once you have intercourse with someone, you are in a way married to the person. Yeah. I'm sure I've lost some people there. And I'm sure some people are like, but in the sense, if you look at it, if you look at it in the holistic, especially if it's not a one-off stuff, if it's recurring, there's a high chance, my dear sire and my dear lady, that you are sort of married to that partner of yours, right? And if it is done sincerely enough, if it is done sincerely enough with sufficient energy of desire, then I think you just might um, have a deeper connection than bodily ones. Yeah, let's leave that. But basically, I think that once you are intercoursed with someone, I mean, it's in the word. It's in the word. Intercourse. You're bringing two courses together. You're bringing two things together. I don't know. I think that just summarizes it. All of this story would have been unnecessary if we had just looked at the word. So I think basically, once you are intercoursed sexually with someone, that's marriage. So I do not think you, if you're desperate or praying for a spouse, look no further. You're already betrothed or bespoused. You have a spouse, or maybe more than one spouse, whatever. But why not just look for one of them? You're already married to them, per se. Sexually, you're married to them. So just look for one. And there's another point. There's this point, right? Let me just bring this up quickly. It's not, I don't know, it's not yet socially acceptable or largely acceptable, but if you look at what is going on now, you'd find that um, people are people are more interested in the organization or in the system than they are in the person that they want to be married to. Huh. Do you did you I think so. I think I was clear. People are more interested in that system because it gives some social status, right? Whether you like to believe it or not, it does. It gives some social status, and a lot of people are interested in that, and they pay very less attention to the one who they want to achieve the status via. And this causes a lot of ingenuity and whatever. But the point I'm trying to bring out is this. I think once, maybe, at least from the African culture, once the family know each other, the families, once they know each other, and you two have agreed to be with each other, to me, that's marriage, first thing. So that ceremony around it, it's, I don't know, ceremony. So once you have agreed to be with each other and your parents actually know about it and do not mind whether, those exchanges have been done, I think you are married. I think. So I don't know, but this is me. I'm sharing some of my passing thoughts. I'd, I don't mind knowing yours. It might be different from mine. And honestly, I think you might have a better idea or a better grasp of it than I do. I mean, I'm just exploring. So thank you all for listening and expect more. And please, please, please subscribe, like, and share. Thank you guys. Cheers.